Hey, good morning. Welcome to Instant Breakfast here on CHSR 97.9 FM. I am here co-hosting today with John Heinstein. So don't worry, he's here. Don't worry.
It's great to have you back, Tammie.
Well, thank you. I'm going to try to be here to co-host on Thursdays as much as I possibly can. I sure do miss it, but I know that the show is in great hands. So what's new, John?
Well, got locked out of the station last episode, but I did get in about halfway into the show, and it was a great week for New Brunswick musicians because, as we had talked about earlier, Jeremy Dutcher won the Polaris Prize, and Partner, another band originally from Sackville, was on the shortlist for the Polaris Prize.
Yeah, that was like incredible.
We played the performance from Jeremy at the CBC show, and we played a little bit of partner music, and I was still thinking about the Polaris Prize all week and how amazing that show was, and I thought I would go through some of the archives of the Polaris short and long lists to see whether any other New Brunswick musicians had been on it recently, and I went back like 10 years, and I only found 3 New Brunswick artists. So it was indeed a great year for New Brunswick artists in 2018. Yeah, the 3 artists that I found: Lisa LeBlanc in 2017, she was on the short list for Why You Want to Leave, Runaway Queen. And then in 2010, Radio, one of the members is from Moncton, was on the short list for Belmundo Regal. And then in 2011, Shotgun Jimmie was on the long list for Transistor Sister. So I thought that we would play from all 3 of those albums to start out the show.
That sounds fantastic.
And then finish up with another Jeremy Dutcher song.
That's fantastic. And I did have the pleasure of seeing Lisa LeBlanc at the Capitol this past year. Oh my God, she is amazing.
I've not seen her play yet.
It's quite a thrill. So yeah, tell us what we're going to hear.
Well, we're going to hear a tune off of her shortlisted 2017 album, Why You Want to Leave, Runaway Queen, a tune that we've actually played before, but it's such a great tune, it deserves a reprise. Cher, you've overstayed your welcome. It's like a fantastic breakup song.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
agreed.
and so this album was, of course, nominated for the Polaris Music Prize. It was on the short list in 2017. It was also nominated at the 2016 Juno Awards for Contemporary Roots Album of the Year. She got a nomination in 2013 for one of her previous albums for Francophone Album of the Year. I mean, she is, and this is maybe not something that people commonly know, but she is the biggest selling musician on the East Coast. She sold over 140,000 records.
Wow.
Yeah. It's from
That's incredible.
Woman from Rosaireville, a little tiny community near Rogersville. A lot of good music comes out of Rogersville. I mean, so much good stuff out of that tiny little community near the Miramichi. And she's just the apex of that. She plays what she calls trash folk, so it's like real kind of traditional roots, raw sounding, lots of energy and rowdy, and it's kind of an old folk sound, but a modern folk sound too.
And I know she had a really successful tour through the entire United States too. A very successful tour, I think, back in 2017 also.
Yeah, she's gotten great reviews, like just a couple of things that I managed to dig out on the internet. Pop Matters says, "This is absolutely essential stuff, and you'll be glad to have not only heard it, but experienced it. It's indeed quite something." And then Bob Mercereau says, "LeBlanc is a whirlwind on banjo, guitar, and vocals. She's a force, a dynamo, ripping into the songs with gusto, humor, and joy." So she's not just a singer and a songwriter, she's also a fantastic musician. She plays guitar and banjo, and she's actually studied the old school bluegrass banjo and Cajun dance and flat picking guitar and fiddle down in Louisiana.
Yeah, we are so lucky to have her in our presence.
Yeah. So let's listen to a song off of her 2017 shortlisted Polaris Prize album, Why You Want to Leave, Runaway Queen, a tune called Cher. You've overstayed.
Overstayed. You're welcome. Here it is.
Cher, t'es resté trop longtemps, t'es resté une miette de trop, puis ça a tué le mystère. Hey, Cher, you've stayed here too long, you've overstayed your welcome, and now it's time to go. Now it's time to go. Hey, Cher, c'est pas que je t'aime pas, mais trop c'est comme passé, laisse-moi le temps de m'ennuyer. Hey, Cher, you know that I love you, but if you don't leave soon, I just might have to kill you. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail. Hey, Cher, je dis juste ça comme ça, mais ça me fera plaisir de t'aider avec tes valises. Hey, Cher, time is a ticking, and I'll be happy and willing to help you pack up and go. Pack up and go. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail. Hey, Cher, it might be time to hit that dusty trail.
That was Lisa LeBlanc. Hey, Cher, you've overstayed your welcome, and it might be time to hit that dusty trail. I love those words. Thanks for listening, guys. CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton. Instant breakfast on this Thursday morning with your host, John Heinstein, and I am your co-host, Tammie. So thanks, John. That was awesome. And what do we have coming up next?
Oh, next we're going to, this is a fantastic group, Radio. One of the members is from Moncton, and one of them from Clare, Nova Scotia. So Gabriel Malenfant from Moncton and Jacques Doucet from Clare, and they were shortlisted for the Polaris Prize in 2010 for an album, Belmundo Regal. They're rappers, but they rap not so much in English or French, but a combination of the two in Chiac, which is French but heavily influenced by English. So you get that mixture of English words thrown in and French that would not be considered proper.
And it's called Chiac? How do you spell that?
Chiac. I think it's a different pronunciation of Shediac, because it's from that kind of area. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
that
my
is
guess.
super interesting.
Yeah.
That is super interesting. I have to say, I've never heard of this artist, so I'm really stoked to hear it.
Oh, they're so good. They have all kinds of really great videos too. Like they're very, very witty and kind of intense at the same time. It's like really irresistible, great beats and just all of that French and English slang. Even if you don't understand any French at all, there's enough English references in there that you can kind of get a sense of the song.
Wow,
They're-
that's cool.
They're in Montreal now, but yeah, they are originally
And
from the
they are still
Atlantic
together then
coast.
as Radio.
I think they've picked up and lost members through the years, but the two core individuals are still part of that. And you've got to check out their videos. I mean, they're clever and funny, and to me, they feel a bit like the videos back in the the heyday of Much Music, when videos were a little bit more important.
Right,
They were kind
right.
of central to the message that you're trying to convey. 2012, they won ECMA for Best Hip Hop Album.
All right. So what is the song we're going to hear?
Et savais pas mieux. I think that means I know you're sad.
Oh, it's not going to make me cry, is it?
No, it's not going to make you cry.
All right,
no.
good.
So here we go.
All
Radio
right.
Radio from Belmundo Regal. Et savais pas mieux.
Save him, I got that morning glory story to tell. Save him, I got that morning glory story to tell.
Hop, skipping and jumping, oh bump, 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 oh bump. Hop, skipping and jumping, oh bump, 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 oh bump. Alakazoo, alakazam, c'est like a scam, c'est la fucking preoccupé sur ma band. So, never mind, rewind la fine ground, c'est la French press party, match New York cinéma. Puis là tu fais fin, kick the can, kick the bucket, diamant c'est la main. C'est pas de la faute, tu fais de la colle, ça se trouve à l'école. C'est pas de la faute, j'ai du goût pour des magnifiques folles. So gênez-vous, je peux me rester dessous, agacer. Ça qu'arrive quand c'est pire de vous. So, gênez-vous si j'ai un manque de goût, agacer. Ça qu'arrive quand c'est pire de vous. C'est laisse à jouer. So gênez-vous, je peux me rester dessous, agacer. Ça qu'arrive quand c'est pire de vous. So, gênez-vous si j'ai un manque de goût, agacer. Ça qu'arrive quand c'est pire de vous.
Hop, skipping and jumping, oh bump, 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 oh bump. Hop, skipping and jumping, oh bump, 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 hop, skipping and jumping, oh bump.
Eye patch being curly fried. Harry puis une trip à Dubaï. On est gone, c'est pas à la banque. On est gone dans le sud avec le message tank. Avec mon cash lâché sous le matelas. Besoin d'un mortgage pour payer l'avocat. Un street fight avec un doctorat. J'savais point mieux puis je l'ai pris dans mes bras.
I guess faut pas pour la gagner, c'est Cher m'a mindé. Villanova, j'ai pas dit Jehovah. Gazelle de gaz comme un Ranger Rover. J'ai le Hoover, ça peut pas mon secret. Arrête au pillard, et donne-moi une once de peur, ça fait une heure ou deux, j'peux pas forner. Gagne-moi sur le rem, gagne-moi pas dans les yeux. Fais fureur, donne-moi pas le malheur. C'est comme la feng shui quand c'est watch the télé. Qu'on fait des livres pour le mélodrame. Encyclopédiaque, et je vais me téléback. J'ai 20 ans sur les mardis soirs. Et j'pourrais marcher haut, j'veux pas faire le faux. Couch potato, sun-dried tomato. J'écoute la TV sur la radio. Gagne-moi sur le rem, gagne-moi pas dans les yeux.
À un moment donné, tu veux juste t'envoler. Dans le parc, dans la tour ou dans un balai. Hop, skipping and jumping, on bump.
Que je te donne pour tout ce que tu veux.
Hop, skipping and jumping, on bump.
Cogué comme si c'était pour le parfum mieux.
Hop, skipping and jumping, on bump. On bump. Hop, skipping and jumping, on bump. On bump.
C'est pas ma faute, c'est que la faute à les autres. So arrête de m'obstiner et mettre la blâme sur les autres. C'est pas ma faute, c'est que la faute à les autres. So arrête de m'obstiner et mettre la blâme sur les autres.
Hop, skipping and jumping, on bump. On bump. Hop, skipping and jumping, on bump. Hop, skipping and jumping, on bump.
Hop, skipping and jumping, oh bump.
Alright, ben tu veux vraiment savoir ce qu'on a un piece luggage set? Ouais, je vais te l'expliquer, right? T'as ton garment bag pour mettre des affaires que tu veux pas chiffonner, du stuff de même. T'as ta suitcase, mettre toutes tes valises. Ben, comme tes vêtements, tes pantalons, tout ce stuff-là. T'as besoin de ta briefcase, mettre tes paparazzi. Un duffel bag pour tout le stuff que tu veux pas, comme des bulky stuff. Tu sais, t'as ton sweater, tes manteaux, tout ça de même. Une hat case, si tu portes des casques. Moi, je porte pas de casque, mais pourquoi pas avoir une hat case en tout cas? Je voudrais porter un casque. T'as ta toiletry kit, quand t'as besoin de te brosser les dents et tout ce stuff-là. Puis là, t'as ton laptop bag, si t'es comme un man of technological experience. Là, t'as comme ton man purse pour pouvoir mettre comme ta map de ta ville, quand tu veux pas de peur, right? Là, tu as ta wardrobe trunk. Ça, c'est vraiment important. Ta wardrobe trunk. N'importe quoi que tu veux mettre dedans. Tes mounts, toutes tes autres petites bébelles, là, tu sais, là. Si tu veux vraiment comme mettre tes souliers, si tu veux mettre des outfits, tu peux mettre ça tout dans ton wardrobe trunk, là. In fact, tu pourrais pas mettre ta suitcase, garment bag, briefcase, duffel bag, hat case, toiletry kit, laptop bag, et ton man purse dans ta wardrobe trunk.
Okay, I am laughing so hard. That was awesome. I'm sure that will be my pick of the day. Thank you for finding that, John. Had you heard of them before? or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a little obsessed with their videos at one point in time.
I can
Watched
see
them
why.
over and over again.
Oh my goodness, I have to check them out. That was absolutely fabulous from Radio, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They are great. They are great. And that was Ça va pas mieux. Did I say that right?
Yeah, more or less.
Sort of,
yeah.
maybe, almost.
That was the Chiac rendition of it.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, thanks for listening, guys. CHSR 97.9 FM Instant Breakfast here on this nice, beautiful Thursday morning at the end of September already. So, what's up next, John?
So our third and final Polaris Prize nominee in the last 10 years, I mean, other than this year, is Shotgun Jimmie. He didn't make the short list in 2011. He did make the long list for his album Transistor Sister. He's out of Sackville.
He's cool. I interviewed him.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
He was really fun.
Yeah, Sleepy Driver played at a Music New Brunswick show during Music New Brunswick week, and Shotgun Jimmie was also on the bill, so I got to see him play. It was
Cool.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually did his sessions here. That was the interview. So it was a live show, and
Yeah.
it was really fun. I loved it.
Jim Kilpatrick is his name. And he's got that real lo-fi, grungy kind of sound, but it sounds really authentic. He's got a lot of, wit and humor in his lyrics and a good song construction. Just a great all-around songwriter and musician.
Agreed. What are we going to hear?
We're going to hear a tune called Swamp Magic off his album Transistor Sister.
So he's been around a while.
He has, yeah. He played with a band for quite a while called Shotgun and Jaybird.
Okay. Here it is, Swamp Magic from Shotgun Jimmie.
It's a highly complicated situation. Coming from a small town conversation. Did few lawn chairs and lots of people around. There's enough people here to stay up all night. There's enough people here to start a band, alright. There's enough people here to stay up all night. There's enough people here to start a band, alright. There's enough people here to stay up all night.
What a great track from Shotgun Jimmie, Swamp Magic
Yeah.
from 2011, did you say, John?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
There's some real Neil Young moments there vocally, I find.
Absolutely. That's exactly who I was thinking of towards the end there.
Mm-hmm.
That was really, really, really great. I would like to go back and revisit that.
Yeah.
See if I can find that album.
Yeah, that whole album has that kind of dirty, noisy, grungy,
Yes.
lo-fi thing going on, and it's really, really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I first came across him when I bought a Eric's Trip cover album. It was a double album, and it had all kinds of people from the Maritimes
Yeah.
doing Eric's Trip, and he was one of them. And I really, really liked him, and that's how I came to find out who he was.
Mm-hmm.
He's very talented. So coming up next, we have a tearjerker.
Yes, this is a real tearjerker. This is, of course, Jeremy Dutcher, who just won so well deservedly the Polaris Prize this year for his just groundbreaking album, Wolastoqiyik, Lintuwakonawa. Getting good at saying that, aren't
You
I?
are getting really, nobody else can say it like you can. I've heard everybody's rendition of it, and nobody's matches yours.
So this is the last track on the album. It's a love song. It's called Koselwintuwakon, which translated from the Maliseet is love song. He sings it in, I think it's kind of in the form of a Gregorian chant or a hymnal of sorts. So it's mostly a cappella. There's a little bit of faint church organ in the background, just barely perceptible, just enough to give it a little bit of a mood. And I think what his intention is with this delivery is to convey a sense of love that is holy, that's akin to worship, and that has like a spiritual connection, right? I mean, it goes to say how well thought out this album is. I mean, this album just feels like, and I know it was years in the making, but just the product of someone who completely immersed himself in the concept of this and managed to execute it beautifully. I mean, it's just such a different album to me.
It
You know,
is.
and it's just so important to Jeremy's people, to the language, the preservation of the language, the culture, this harkening back to the past and projecting into the future with this music. It's just a masterful thing that he has done. You know,
It is. It's
to me,
unlike anything.
it's what great art is all about. And I know there are a lot of debates about whether there is such a thing as great art, but if I were to make an argument that there is such a thing as great art, this would be the central exhibit.
I completely agree. Let's hear it.
Love song.
Nami, 'cause 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 'c
Okay. Amazing. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm already looking forward to this next track because my eye went right to Brent Mason on lead guitar
Yeah.
for this Pete Hansen track. So again, that was that last track was Jeremy Dutcher. And tell us again, John, the name of that track.
The name of the track is Koselwintuwakon, which
Okay.
it means love song.
Beautiful. Yes, moving on.
Pete Hansen. I first encountered this guy at Dolan's, and they used to have the Dolan's Late Night Orchestra playing every, I think, Wednesday night. And so it's kind of a collective of musicians with, of course, Barry Hughes, the owner of Dolan's, drumming, and they had a few standard members, and then Pete Hansen would sit in, and I noticed right away, like, his masterful guitar technique. He's got really good tone, really interesting musical lines in his guitar playing, and so since then he's put out 2 EPs. This is the second one that just came out at the beginning of September. It's called Bad Break. It's a 4-song EP with 1 instrumental and 3 songs that are lyrical, basically have lyrics. The music is basically blues in form. The instrumental is got little inflections of country in there and maybe even a little bit of jazz. You can tell he's listened to a lot of guitar fusion on the instrumental track, which is what we're going to play because I really want to highlight the instrumentality of Pete Hansen's playing. So although Brent Mason is playing lead guitar in some of the songs, he's not on this particular tune. So let's listen to this first track off of Pete Hansen's new EP, Bad Break. It's called Giv'er.
I love that title. It's just so New Brunswick.
Yeah, and he does.
Here's Giv'er. What a great track. Oh, wow. From Pete Hansen, Giv'er.
What a guitar player.
What a guitar player. And the bass in that was pretty darn amazing, too. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, to CHSR 97.9 FM Instant Breakfast on this Thursday morning with your host, John Heinstein, and I am your co-host today, Tammie. Anyway, John, what's coming up next?
Next is a tune from Patient Records.
Oh,
which
I
is
love Patient Records.
Yeah, experimental avant-garde label from Eric Hill, who
Absolutely.
manages Backstreet Records. And
That's how I got to know Patient Records.
Yeah, and he performs this Counting on Downstairs himself on this, and so they, I think last month, put out an 11-song release of electronic experimental artists from the area.
I got to get that.
Yeah.
I definitely got to get that.
This is how
For my
Eric
collection.
describes it. He says it's a snapshot of electronic music from artists either from or currently residing in or with some strong relation to Fredericton, New Brunswick in 2018. By no means exhaustive, it nonetheless illustrates the spirit of experimentation is thriving in our sleepy little town.
And what track are we going to hear?
So we're going to listen to a track from an artist named Void Ant and a song called Engage. Void Ant's real name is Scott Saad, S-A-A-D, and he's put out about 7 albums of electronica music since about 2005. It's been a while since he's released anything at all, so this is really his first tune that he's released since 2012. So I thought it would be a good one to highlight from this album. It's a tune that would work well as a soundtrack to like a futuristic movie or something, or a video game, or it's kind of suspenseful in a organic way, but also a mechanistic way. There's a little bit of a surprise at the end too. So
Very cool.
yeah, let's listen to this. Void Ant, Engage, off of the Patient Records compilation.
That was an awesome surprise ending. And that did remind me a little bit of the breakcore type music. Was it? Or am I just making that up? I don't know.
Yeah, it did
kind of went into a little
breakcore kind of beat.
That was from Void Ant, Engage.
Yep.
What's coming up next, John?
This is a cool little tune that I just discovered a couple of weeks ago. It's a band that was around for quite a while, back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, a band called Bois Joli. And they were founded by Georges Bellevaux. We've heard stuff off of his most recent album, and his brothers, Jean and Martin. They're from the Memran Cook area, Près d'en Haut. And so in 2008, they released Les Hits, their greatest hits album. And so they had a couple of albums up to that point, starting in 1996 and ending in 2003. They were a very popular Acadian band, did a lot of touring, won Francophone Recording of the Year at the ECMAs in 2002, and this is an example of like the high production values and just all of the fun and the musicianship that they pack into their tunes. There's no wonder that they were popular. So this is a tune called Maria Dolores, an Acadian Calypso tune, I guess you would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to hear this. Let's hear it.
Elle s'appelle Maria Dolores, on l'appelle Maria d'Amore. D'un regard elle vous enflamme, andalou jusque dans l'âme. Et la belle Maria Dolores, sensuelle Maria d'Amore. D'un regard elle vous désarme, espagnole jusque dans l'âme. Maria quand elle danse, et elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Mais Maria quand elle danse, elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Elle s'appelle Maria Dolores, on l'appelle Maria d'Amore. D'un regard elle vous enflamme, andalou jusque dans l'âme. Et la belle Maria Dolores, sensuelle Maria d'Amore. D'un regard elle vous désarme, espagnole jusque dans l'âme. Maria quand elle danse, elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Mais Maria quand elle danse, elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Elle n'entend que la guitare qui lui joue du flamenco. Elle devient reine d'Espagne. Et moi je l'ai de la peau. Maria quand elle danse, elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Mais Maria quand elle danse, elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Maria quand elle danse, elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Mais Maria quand elle danse, elle se donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout. Mais Maria quand elle danse, et ça donne jusqu'au bout. Tous les hommes la regardent, mais Maria elle s'en fout.
That was fabulous. And I have to say, my favorite part of that, I mean, the vocals were awesome, but the percussion I just love all the different percussion going on in that.
They're so good.
That was
And
amazing.
Georges Bellevaux band is really, really good too. Like just the songs are so infectious and
Oh
so
my
melodic.
God. And the musicianship, amazing. So that was, again, Maria Dolores?
Dolores, yes.
Yeah. What's coming up next? Something from Folly Fest.
Yeah, a band called Fat Jebus, and yeah.
I already love the name.
Oh yeah, this is a video from Folly Fest 2010. That might have been the performance that I saw, but I was reminded of Fat Jebus. I ran across this compilation CD called Freddie's Rockpile Presents Horseshoes and Hand Grenades that had like Queen Cab and all kinds of Fredericton bands and musicians on it, and one of the tunes on it was Fat Jebus with the tune Walkatipeh. They did put out an album. It's hard to find. I haven't been able to track down it, but I've been trying for the last little while and I finally stumbled upon this Vimeo video with the full audio, high quality recording of Walkatipeh. So that's what we're going to play. They're kind of a jam band. It's got Nick Cobham in it, Tace McCavity, a few other people, and anything with Nick Cobham in it tends to be really interesting and really well played, and this is no exception at all to that rule. So let's try it. It's off an album called The Bridgest, the song Walkatipeh.
Nervously waiting and gasping for air. I'm breathing the breath from beyond the stairs.
So we got to say goodbye, and that makes me really sad. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, today to CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton. Instant Breakfast on this Thursday morning with your host, John Heinstein, who brings us this amazing show every Thursday. And how lucky are we to have it? And I've been your co-host today, and how lucky am I? Yeah, we have like a minute. So say goodbye, John.
Goodbye. And Tammie, you have the honor of choosing the next Jeremy Dutcher tune that we're going to play to finish the show.
I better play the quickest one I can find, which is right here, 1 minute and 59 seconds. It is called Kotuwossomikhal.
Perfect.
All right, we're going with it.